Today's a pretty big day for four-wheel drivers. It's the launch or the reveal of the 2022 Ford Ranger. Now this is a prototype vehicle and it's just a reveal, we're not actually able to drive it. But what we can do is show you around it and get a few secrets to see actually what makes this vehicle tick. There's a few key things that I really want to show you, so let's not get into it too much. Let's go and have a look at the vehicle and see what makes it tick. And if you think the new Ford Ranger is better than the previous model that's about to replace. It's certainly been a long time coming, considering the current Ford Ranger is one of the oldest 4x4 platforms still on the market today. The PX1 was released in 2011 and is still available in revised PX3 guise today. What we have here today though is a prototype of what we can expect the 2022 Ford Ranger to look like when it arrives on market next year. Now let's start at the front end, which features much more than just a restyling. The wheelbase on the new 2022 Ford Ranger is 50mm longer than the outgoing model, with the front wheels pushed forward for a better approach angle. Track width has also been increased 50mm, which gives it a better stance in off-road conditions. It also allows for an increase in width in the tub, so storing bulky items, such as the industry standard pallet of wood, is achievable. On the front end, styling-wise, you can see there is a new grille design, as well as these C-shaped headlights, which are a good-looking addition and definitely a nod to the F-150. The new front end also creates more engine bay space to fit the V6 engine, as well as providing better airflow to the radiator. Dual recovery points have been built into the front end, and as Ford have called them recovery points, not tie-down points, they have been rated for off-road recovery. We will have to dive deeper though, as Ford aren't telling us what they are rated to. Engine-wise, there are a few motors available, but Ford aren't telling us which specs getting what. The flagship should receive a 3-litre V6 turbo diesel, and it'll also be a single turbo 2-litre diesel, a bi-turbo 2-litre diesel, and we're also hearing rumours about a 4-cylinder turbo petrol motor. Now transmissions, there's a choice of a 10-speed auto, which seems to be the most common ingredient across the Ford range these days. There's also going to be a couple of manuals, which is also an exciting thing for those who like to shift gears. Now Ford also tells us the chassis and suspension has been designed by Ford's Melbourne-based engineers, with the aim of handling all conditions ute owners would throw at the Ranger, be that loaded with passengers, towing, or carting heavy loads in the tray. The previous Ford Ranger did handle quite well on road, I must say, so it'll be definitely interesting to see what differences there are here. ARB accessories are actually going to be available from the factory to suit the 2022 Ranger, which is a really cool idea. You can walk into your Ford dealership and get an ARB bull bar fitted, and it's all covered under warranty. Now suspension-wise, the rear shock absorbers have been moved outward from the chassis rail, and this should provide a firmer ride, but also gives more space in the tub because, as mentioned, this vehicle is 50mm wider than the previous generation Ranger. The big news is there's two choices of four-wheel drive systems. There's an electronic shift-on-the-fly system, as well as a new full-time four-wheel drive system, similar to Mitsubishi's Super Select 2, where you can engage 4x4 on the road for better handling in wet weather. Now sadly, we're not allowed to look inside the interior of the Ford Ranger, but luckily we've got some B-roll to show you what it looks like. There's an integrated display which looks really refined. They come in two sizes as well, up to 12 inches. Everything's handled through this display, from turning on your four-wheel drive systems to your 360-degree camera. So it really cleans up the interior, taking away a lot of switches. There's also less chrome inside, as Ford has found that younger owners don't want chrome, they want black. And I have to agree, I think it's a much better look. One thing I like, if you look at the air vents, it's actually very similar to the grille in the front of the vehicle, which I think is a pretty cool little feature. Something a bit quirky and I like it. There's also a lot more storage throughout the vehicle, which is always a good thing. It seems like Ford has really listened to its customers and worked out how they actually use the vehicles. Now on the back, you can see this box step-up feature, which is really, really cool. Very, very handy. So you can literally step up on the side and climb into the back of the tub. And it's a little thing like that that really does make a big difference. The tub is also more modular, featuring capping and side load tie-down points all throughout, so you can really customise it to suit your needs. The tailgate's also functional with clamp down points and a ruler for some reason. I mean, it's a bit weird, but why not? There's plenty of lighting inside and out too, which is always a good feature, and something the aftermarket's normally had to step up to cover. It's good to see Ford's included this. So we know that this 3 litre V6 turbo diesel motor is essentially the same EcoBoost diesel fitted to the F-150, but Ford have told us that this has been upgraded for Australian conditions. Now, we don't have official power figures, but it's pretty easy to take a look online and see what that EcoBoost motor is making in the F-150. It should be a bit of a screamer, I reckon. Combine that with full-time four-wheel drive, a more modern interior, a more practical tub, and a better approach angle. There's certainly some really key points to talk about with this Ranger, and we can't wait till next year to take it for a spin. Well, there you go, guys. That's the 2022 Ford Ranger. That's what it looks like, and obviously we couldn't drive it. We don't know a few key things, but more information is going to come out, and when we find out about that, we'll let you know. But what I'd love to know is what you think of the vehicle. Has Ford done enough with this new Ranger to make it better than its predecessor? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks again for watching.